Speaking of figured it out, Coleman Hawkins, there might not be a play I liked more than his offensive rebound with a minute left. It was the Dennis Rodman thing. He's like, oh, as he misses here, it's going there. It's he missing here, it's going there. He just read where Jacob Grandison's shot was going to clank off the rim, got to his spot, ball went right there, and that length, the athleticism obviously showed through. Just active, just energy. Has it clicked for Coleman Hawkins, Mike? And if so, what's that mean for Illinois?
I think it has. And part of that is just attributing to him being comfortable in his skin again. I think he knows who he is right now. And who he is an energy and effort guy that's extremely skilled. And that doesn't mean earlier in the season, Marquette game, all that, you don't need to try to split the defense. You don't need to rip it with your right hand and go downhill and try to make something happen. You are just as potent, and you mean just as much, if not more, to this team by being the energy and effort guy. We got guys putting the ball in the basket, taken care of. Don't worry about that. Okay, it may come in the form of 10 points like it did against Ohio State. It may come in the form of 6 points. It may come in the form of 0 points. Because not only did he track down that rebound after the Grandison miss to set up the Frazier three, the over-the-back call that was drawn was off him going to try to get 1-2 and drawing another foul on Hunter Dickinson. So he sticks his nose in there. He's aggressive. He plays with fire. He plays with passion. And he's the type of guy, he gives them a different look offensively. They ran a little bit of that pistol action. I'll show it in the film. It gives you a completely different element, dynamic, whatever you want to call it. But I'll say this, and this is the point that I'll make about Coleman Hawkins. Okay? Give this kid a ton of credit. It is rare. And when I say rare, I mean rare. For somebody to emerge like this after that much of a decrease in minutes. There are players, and the majority of them will float off into the abyss. And minutes are down. I was starting early in the year. Now I either DNP'd or I played 6 minutes. You become a problem. You're trying to take other guys down with you in the locker room. Like, hey, isn't this some BS? That's how cancer spreads in the locker room. And I think it speaks to this culture. It certainly speaks to Coleman Hawkins and the type of kid he is. And look, there are plenty of times in the past where someone will reemerge because of injuries. Somebody will reemerge because of, COVID. I mean, whatever it may be. He's reemerged because he has just made the most of his opportunities. And at times it was 4 minutes, and at times it was 9 minutes. And he built it back up. And it's been one of my favorite storylines of the season, because I think it truly goes to show you that you play hard, you play with effort, you play the right way, you do the right things. That stuff all comes back to you.
Yeah, and just to back up your point, Mike, in 7 Big Ten games from January 17th to February 8th, he averaged 7.7 minutes per game. This is a guy who's the second best player the first 3 games because Kofi was out, right? Like, that's pretty amazing to go from that to that. And then the last 5 games, even when RJ Melendez was playing well, right? Like, so RJ's injury might open up a little bit more playing time here, but 19.4 minutes per game the last 5 games. It's gone from 13 to 26 at Michigan the other day. So kudos to him. Kudos to staff for getting through to him through that stretch. And yeah, kudos to the whole team of supporting him and getting him through it, because again, he's just something they don't have otherwise. RJ does a little bit of it, but he's not quite as long. And he's their biggest weakness. That 4 positions, their biggest weakness. So if he can turn that into, I don't know if it's going to be a strength, but a solid position for them, man, again, it's just like Curbelo and Hawkins, those two get going. It's just 2 things that this team hasn't had most of the year.
It's every Big Ten defense's biggest weakness. If you can be potent at that spot, go on down the list. I mean, if you want to call Keegan Murray a 4 technically in this league, EJ Liddell, I mean, they're Jamison Battle. Like, there's a lot of guys in this league who pose a problem for a lot of teams, every team at that spot. And Coleman Hawkins, you can see, not only does he pose a problem for teams at the 4, but you slide into the 5 in those Kofi minutes. And I'm not over here lobbying for Coleman to play 25 minutes to 5. I think that can be taken care of by the potential Big Ten Player of the Year. But in those moments where you have, okay, Kofi's going to play 29 to 32 minutes. So those 8 to 11 minutes, how do we want to use those? And Coleman Hawkins is going to keep chewing into a lot of those because you just see the versatility and the way that they can do different things and that pistol action and how he just spread things out. I mean, Alfonso Plummer gets a backdoor cut against Ohio State for just a wide open layup. And maybe in other times, Kofi's down there posting. I mean, who knows? And that never happens. So it's not to say that Kofi clogging up the lane is an issue. It just gives you a different wrinkle in those other 5 to 10 minutes of the game. And those other 5 to 10 minutes of the game, as we know, can be the difference, can blow the game open, can bring a team back into it. So, Coleman's done a lot for this team in the last few weeks. And I frankly, I don't think he's done doing a lot for this team as we head into March.